People, the theme for today is how to handle disrespect.
I ain't figured it out.
How to handle disrespect. This is going to be good. Wherever you're listening, lean in because I do believe we're going to drop some gems that will be helpful, some relatable experiences that will be relief for you that think that you are alone in this thing. But life is full of disrespect, and we want to talk about how you handle it all.
So why did you want to talk about that this week? Was this inspired by something you're dealing with?
Every day. every, every single day. Every single day.
Okay. Now
I, I, I
wait. But let me ask you: do you
okay.
feel like you're being disrespected every day, or are you being disrespected? Because I think there's a difference between feeling disrespected and being disrespected.
I think both. I think at the end of the day, not everybody knows that they're not being disrespected if they feel disrespected. I think oftentimes people disrespect without having. Ooh, you in a lane. I knew this was going to be a good topic because I want to even talk right to that. When a person feels disrespected, it is not always as a result of your intention to disrespect them. If a person says, yo, that was disrespectful what you just did, oftentimes it is not the goal of you to make them feel that way. And if it is, shame on you, but it is not always the goal. Often people feel disrespected because we have established a level of expectation on how we are to engage or experience whatever we are ultimately disrespected by. And so when that expectation isn't met, you're left with what is called offense or seeming disrespect. But I will say this, please give yourself and the offender some grace. A lot of times, I think more often than not, people don't mean to offend or to disrespect as much as you may feel it. And what's going to help you in life is for you to lower the expectations of people and things. You're probably shocked that I'm even saying this, Eunice, after how
I'm
we've
writing it down.
spoken
I'm writing it
before.
down. Stand
But
by. I'm writing it down. Mm-hmm.
but lower but lower the expectations.
Continue.
Don't have it
Continue.
so tight and don't have it so tight and extreme to where people can't make mistakes. But yeah, like this life is full of
Okay.
disrespect,
So let
and
me
it's
let
going to
me let
continue to
me let me.
disrespect you.
I'm gonna take some exception to what you said. I
Hmm.
personally believe that disrespect is less attached to expectation and more attached to ego.
Oh, absolutely.
So a lot of times,
Did you
if
think
you
we were
think
going
about,
to disagree there?
I don't know, but I'm saying because you think of, if you think of, and unfortunately, in a lot of our communities, a lot of violence is beget by someone felt disrespected, and a lot of times that is their ego that has been injured in some way, and so now I must cause you bodily harm, injury, or death because my ego has been injured in some way. Okay, now to me, it takes a lot for me to feel disrespected. And I think that might be a byproduct of being a Black woman in America. I would not want to feel as disrespected as I probably am on a daily basis. I wouldn't want to feel that all
Mm.
the time. So I think I probably have some blind spots and some barriers up just to protect my peace. But by the time I
Yeah.
feel disrespected, I am already on Mach 10 on how I'm gonna get you. Because for me to feel
Mm.
disrespected, I assume you don't know how to handle me when I walk in the room. So my expectation is very low. There's no way you know how to honor what's about to happen in my presence. So I'm not even going to hold that against you. But if I actually feel disrespected, I know based on my own tolerance for it, I have an intolerance for it, but my own acceptance of it as just, as part of the wind, as part of the atmosphere in general, as a Black woman, I'm going to get you. So when you say, how do you handle disrespect? I'm curious as how you handle it. And do you handle it the way you think you should? I'll tell you how I handle it. I'm gonna tell you how I handle it first because I know you're not gonna agree with me.
Let's go.
I'm currently in a situation. So that's when you offered this as a conversation. I said, "Ooh, okay." I'm currently in a situation where I'm kind of feeling a little disrespected,
Mm.
and I'm picking up what some folks are putting down around me. And this is how I usually handle it. If you feel I'm a dime a dozen, good luck with the other 11. I'm out.
Woo! Let that sit right there.
I'm not going to be talking to you about me. So if you feel like this is something, this situation, all of it is something that's replaceable, not valuable, not unique, not special, and so you don't need to act no kind of way that matches that, good luck with that. And I don't stay around long. I have quit every job I've ever had because one day I came in and I said, they don't know how to love me. Let me fix it for them.
Mm.
Let me
And so
fix it.
your fix it was your exit.
That's it. That's how I fix it. Now, is that
Wow.
not the right answer? But that is how I fix it. It can be a
Well,
relationship, it can be a friendship, it can be a job, it can be a room, it can be an event. I fix it by my exit. Yes.
okay. So I will say this. I do believe that certain circumstances require you having to fix it with your exit. But I don't think that all circumstances require it. And I don't think that most circumstance require it.
Okay.
I think that there's a lot more in life that we are purposed to endure, that we, one, learn from it for ourselves, but also show other people that they got the wrong one. And also showing people that because people treat you the way that you allow them to treat you
Mhm.
ultimately.
Mhm.
And that's not saying the immediate, like they continue to, I want to clarify it more specifically. People continue to treat you the way you allow them to treat you. Because a person can, on the onset, just disrespect you and you haven't given them any allowance yet. But at the
Mhm.
end of the day, I do believe that if we run from mishandling or disrespect in general, what we will find ourselves doing is missing a lot of learning curves. I mean, missing a lot of learning benefits, missing a lot of things that will show and expose to the offender or the disrespecter that can change them and challenge them to be better. Um,
That's not my ministry.
I think I definitely know that you don't feel like you want to do that much anymore. I don't know. Are you clarifying that there was a time that you probably endured?
Never.
Or are you saying you never did? Okay, so what I'm doing with that clarification is challenging you not to always meet it with an exit. Because I
Mhm.
really do believe, and this is something that I've learned in marriage, and it's a tough teacher,
Mhm.
that a lot of times people don't know how they are disrespecting you or to the degree of how they're disrespecting you until it is fully addressed and until you help them learn how to treat you in a way that shows you the respect that meets your okay. And I think that one of the things that happens is because we have grown up in spaces where we're like, well, they should know better. So if they're disrespecting me, it's their problem, peace. But a lot of people have grown up in environments that have a different language that's different than ours, have a different style and tone that's different. And if you only choose to see them and accept them based on the limitation of your experience, you will only go but so far because
But
what
see
you're
but
finding.
the flip side of that though, I receive what you're saying, and I think especially in romantic relationships, you got to figure that thing out for sure.
Not just
Okay.
romantic. I was just saying I learned it in marriage. I'm saying it in
I'm not gonna figure it out in no other context.
yes, you have to. You have
I'm
to
not.
because
Not.
yes, yes, you
I'm not.
will, and you will, because I'm
Let
gonna
me
be
tell you
praying
why. Let
for
me
it.
tell you why. Because it's
I'm gonna
not
be
even that I
praying
think
for
you
it.
should know better. Okay, you do that. It's not even so much that I think you should know better. Because at this point, I know common sense ain't common. So I actually know most people don't
That's
know
my
better.
point.
But that's not
Yes.
it. But that's not what my exit is not contingent upon. You should have known better. My exit is usually contingent upon you didn't get that from me. So why are you giving it to me? So for me, it's if I was respectful and you were disrespectful, if I was communicative, if I was all the things that I want and you found something else to be, then no, I'm not going to try to raise an adult. I'm not going to try to teach an adult how to be. So for me, the exit is usually based on, oh wow, you should know better. No, it's oh you don't know better. So let me protect myself. I'm not I'm now, maybe at some point in my life, I can't remember it now, but I'm sure maybe in my 20s, I probably thought that I could help people see how to be better versions of themselves. That's not my ministry anymore. And so a lot of times, like I said, right now in the current situation I'm dealing in, I'm working through who will my exit harm? Like, am I cutting my nose off to spite my face, kind of thing? Who would the exit harm more, myself or them? For me, I always feel like it's going to harm the person that is missing me. But I'm aware now that, okay, how do I manage the situation where I feel like there is a disconnect between who I am, what I bring to the table, and how I'm being dealt with, and the other side of that, which in their world, the assumption is everything's fine. This is okay to be this way. Right.
So let me
And
ask you this. So
yes,
let me
please.
ask you this. Do you communicate the feeling of your disrespect to the disrespecter, or do you just exit without giving them any clarity?
I don't communicate feelings. I communicate facts because I don't expect people to manage their lives based on how I feel. Everybody's feelings are fickle, right? But I'm saying logistically, if we said 5 o'clock and it's 7:30, and you don't see a problem with it being 7:30 when we agreed to 5 o'clock, I won't do anything else with you. Now, am I going to say, "Hey, but we said 5 o'clock"? And it's been 2.5 hours, you know what I'm saying? So for me, no, I'm not going to over communicate or even communicate the issue. It's, hey, but this was agreed upon. So for me, especially in a professional situation, there's professional courtesy, professional respect. And so things like time, money, all those things that have been agreed upon before you enter into the relationship, I'm going to bring it up and say, hey, can we make sure that we do XYZ, as we talked about? After that's met with, oh, well, we'll do it however we see fit. That's when I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, of course, of course. Now, listen. You got to make sure that you share the context of why you
Yes.
would choose to do it. Because if someone has literally said, "I am not going to regard what we agreed on," that's different. There's a communication that happened where it was clarified that this is the expectation. Please meet it, and if you don't, of course, you
But
move
again,
accordingly.
but
But
aren't all relationships, even if it's not professional, is there's not saying expectation, but there's an understanding that, okay, let's say you and I have an agreement. We don't have anything on paper that say we'll be respectful of each other or do what we say we're gonna do. But if one of us was dropping the ball and disregarding the other's time and energy and contribution, it would be like, now do I have to talk to you about this?
yes, yes.
What am I gonna say?
Yes, I think, and I definitely sense that it's from jaded experiences that have you to the point where you're like, listen, I don't. People are grown, like they're gonna do what
Right,
they're
we're
gonna do,
adults.
and
Right.
and I don't need to baby someone into an understanding. But I really do believe that the point of communication, which is a skill set of the mature, is to actually clarify. Use your words to clarify what you are feeling. Now, I'm not saying you are saying this to be coddled with your feelings, but feelings do matter in every transaction, in every relational dynamic. You have feelings. And it has
Hmm.
to be said if you do not feel good while in it, regardless of how much of the professional commitments are kept, or the professional expectations are kept, you still have feelings in this because humans are involved. And I think that that's one of the benefits of what the pandemic brought us. It showed humanity, like in the workplace. It made us have to stop and just get away from bottom lines being the most important, versus how are these people that are involved in this exchange feeling? Because at the end of the day, I can't expect from someone who is broken, who's offended, who feels belittled, who does not feel valued, who doesn't feel respected. That has to be clarified. And oftentimes we think that a person should know better, but a lot of people did not grow up with clear communicators. We talk. Your mama talks. Your mama uses her language. That's a gift that a lot of people don't have the benefit of having. My mama uses her words. We've talked about my exchange with her.
Mhm.
She uses her words. And at the end of the day, we are better because we use our words. But there's a lot of people that don't come from that. And if they are fortunate enough to move in business spaces or friendship spaces with someone like you, I would ask that not to the level of you're tolerating perpetual disrespect, but if you address the disrespect as it hits, you communicate, this is something I'm not okay with. Give them an opportunity to course correct and see where the benefit of that relationship is going to take you. I think that that's going to serve you better in a lot of these spaces.